Yeah,
Are you saying you're done with real estate?
No, I'm not saying that.
Just check.
So what I will tell you this. What I am done with is trying to just scale the portfolio at any means possible, even from like the Coachwood perspective.
Well, we were just talking about how being a landlord kind of sucks in Ontario.
Yeah, like it really
so skewed, man.
It really does. I wouldn't say I'm starting to hate real estate. Okay,
It sounds like you're saying
no,
it.
so hear me out here. I've never, even from when I started my real estate career, I'm not looking at you because I'm thinking back. I remember, because I was managing it myself, and I remember like thinking to myself, like, this fucking sucks. And it's because you're dealing with people like nonstop, but it's always people that the majority want to try to figure out a way how to fuck you over, or fuck you, or take your money, or not pay you.
Well, depending on what class your property is, I'll say that's true. But
No, it's not.
I want to.
It's not true. It just happens less.
Well,
okay?
I don't have any tenants trying to screw me over except in the lower end stuff. But I want to throw one thing out there.
Dude, I have had across the board. When in the better quality property, less just happens. So that's what I can say. I've seen it across the board. My better shit, my Class A, single family homes in amazing neighborhoods. Yeah, you hear a lot less from them.
I had a stupid
but
call.
you still have.
No, I had a call.
Still have issues.
I had a call yesterday. I had a super high end property, like $2,600 a month for one floor of a triplex, and it's like, hey, I need some salt. Can you go pick it up for me? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is technically the landlord's responsibility, but like, go get your own salt. Like, just go to the store. But here's why I think it
You gotta
sucks.
be careful what kind of salt you get, eh?
No doubt. Anyways,
Here's your concrete up.
here's why I think it sucks. Because landlords have no rights.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that if you try to like play hardball or stand your ground as a landlord, they can screw you over so bad that you have to tiptoe around every little thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't argue with them. You can't debate with them. If they're late on rent, you got to be careful, because if you hit them with the notice and all of a sudden they trash your place, you'll never get, like, it's so skewed that it makes the experience really crappy for landlords. So that's my opinion, but touch on that. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, having a portfolio of a good amount of property, like, that's the difference, right? If you have a few properties, you're probably not going to experience like what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you have like hundreds of doors. It's fucking like nonstop bullshit, and here's the difference. Here's what I'm explaining to you. You know how I obviously just took over BioSteel.
You don't say.
It's the same amount of bullshit. Like it's I shouldn't say that. It's
Like, running BioSteel is similar to this real estate portfolio.
yeah, like it's the same. It's the same because I have.
That's good.
Maybe that's an exaggeration. I shouldn't say it's the same amount of bullshit and headache as running like a big company like a BioSteel, not even running it, putting it back together. The fucking ROI is not even in the same fucking realm of earth. Like, it's for me to get the same type of ROI that we're projecting with, BioSteel, I'd have to own like $1 billion worth of property. I really would, because, from a valuations perspective, if I were to actually sell out BioSteel, after, like this year, we're projected to do like $60 to $70 million in revenue. And I can't remember exactly what the EBITDA is, but, if you give it a simple 3 times multiplier of revenue at and even a 10 times EBITDA multiplier, you're looking at well over $100 million valuation. Jeez. Like, well over.
Sounds like you got a steal,
but that's the reality of it, right? Yeah. And for me to cash out, you got to think, like, maybe not $1 billion worth of property, but you need a couple $100 million worth of property.
No, for sure.
Like,
so I had minimum. I said something to colleague the other day. We were just talking about, and I said, you know what? If you want to get really rich, I think you got to own businesses. Real estate's great, but a successful business will make you way more money, I think.
Yeah,
but then I said,
I
think
tweeted that today.
I think the return on investment per hour worked is really good for real estate, and the risk factor of actually building or buying a successful business for most people, they're probably not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, it's super low.
And it would be like you're talking hundreds of hours, man, like a month probably to like get this running. Whereas my real estate portfolio is annoying, but it's like 1 hour per week per property at max.
Yeah.
At max. Not even an hour per week per property. It's
Yeah.
a couple hours a month. It's just annoying.
And that's where my exaggeration comes in, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
although my
Your
my
total return is way higher.
yeah, like
But you're-
what with BioSteel?
Yeah.
The total return is way higher, but it also depends on like prior to taking over BioSteel, I was a big portion of my day was consistently underwriting properties. So what do you do you consider the work that you put in if you want to keep your real estate portfolio stagnant, or do you want to grow it? Because if you truly do want to grow it and you're making the right decisions, you're spending hours a day
good point,
underwriting property. You're spending how many hours a day looking, just sifting through property and opportunities?
All day, every day.
Are you going to consider that not work? You can see what I'm trying
That's
to say?
a good point. Yeah, for
so,
sure.
So for me, although like this is putting the puzzle pieces, like putting the puzzle back together, it's still work, but I'd just be spending that time looking at properties and sifting through. Like I actually, even during this, I get so many, like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but all of a sudden I get like an obscene amount of emails a day.
About BioSteel?
Yeah. It's like I started to kind of really reduce my inbox velocity of emails coming through, and then all of a sudden this fucking hits, and it's just like hundreds a day.
Are you saying you're done with real estate?
No, I'm not saying that.
Just check.
So what I will tell you this. What I am done with is trying to just scale the portfolio at any means possible, even from like the Coachwood perspective. I think moving forward, what I'm going to do is, because I already built out the logistics, I already built out the whole system to be able to do it. I'm just going to focus on, number one, people that when the market changes, I don't have to worry about somebody that has $20,000 invested, like barking up my ass, wondering like what's going on with the distributions. That's annoying, right? Like from the onset, we all know how real estate operates. It's market dependent. It's also, you shouldn't be buying, a couple $100,000 worth of real estate and expecting that to fund your lifestyle, right? With respect to cash flow. You need a lot of real estate to be able to fund your lifestyle. I don't even know that I'd be able to do it now. You know what I mean?
Need a lot and probably time.
Yeah. And not only like I think I have like a few $1,000,000 coming in from cash flow, but then you have all of these unforeseen circumstances come up, right? I got a boiler that I got to replace at Canton Manor right now. Who the fuck knows what that's going to come in at? Like that's not a cheap thing.
No doubt.
So all of a sudden, boom, there goes who knows how much,
reserves,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and then you've got all of these weird unforeseen expenses, right? Like you're talking about tenants trashing your place, right? Or tenants not paying your rent.
Yep.
Like what happens to your cash flow on one property? So say your cash flow, say you've
negative.
got you've
goes
got
negative.
$100 or $200 worth of positive cash flow a month, right? Your tenant not even trashes the place. Your tenant's a little bit more rough than normal, where you got to clean the carpet, you got to resand the floors, and you got to paint. There's minimum a couple grand there.
Yeah. That's
So then what?
A year of cash flow.
Exactly.
yeah.
So you can't, like, cash flow is there to kind of pay the bills. And then if you're lucky, you still have some extra. It's only until like you really get some scale that you're replacing your income with real estate.
Yeah, and sometimes time will do it too. Like I bought properties where the rent's like literally doubled in a couple years. So now all of a sudden you have this margin,
But how long did it take you to get there?
yeah,
Fucking 10 years.
4 or 5 years, and you hit the right market. Like it's kind of a fluke. But yeah, you're not buying freedom with like a duplex or triplex or fourplex.
No, so for me, I'm only gonna really focus on like hitting those home run deals, like one buddy there was preaching, and only bringing in key people. I'm not gonna. though, and people that have money where it's like, listen, I'm in it for the long haul, and based off of the, the picking the right market, the right locations, and forcing value. That's where the money is. Not like this fucking. You
do that by
hey,
what?
hey, I can't control what happens in Florida. I can't control the fact that insurance fucking skyrocketed in Florida, and it cut our cash flow. Like, I can't. And to explain to somebody that, and then have them like fire off 10 emails, like rapid fire for 20 grand. Like, I can't. Like, and that's the stuff. That's what's getting me a little bit more bitter with respect to real estate, only because of that, right? Because that dealing with that is such a time suck, and it makes and it gets in my head, because I'm controlling people's money, and I know how important that is to people, but from my perspective, the ROI on my time and dealing with that, and the amount of money I make off that guy, like I'm losing money. So for me, like, it just.
Well, there's the old saying: the $1 million client is easier to deal with than
100%.
the $100,000 client. It's just different perspectives, different mentalities. You like, if you have a lot of money, you know what it takes to get the money, so stuff happens, and
Yeah, exactly.
you know all the stuff in between.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be asking questions, but at least I would understand. That's why we put that. That's why we put those stipulations in there. Like, hey, listen.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, I had
know
all
what
the
I mean?
information. I made the decision.
Yeah.
This happened. Yeah, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Let's move on and deal with it.
Yeah,
No
like those other
emotions.
guys. I think what is it, like Vigir? I think his name is. I can't remember exactly. It was like a group of guys. They're just like, yeah, like, we totally get it. Like, we're not in it for that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, like, they just, hey, what's going on? I got to update a little bit better. I'm not the best at updating, but yeah, that's kind of what my take is on it, and why I think I gotta like refocus a little bit. You know? What
yeah.
I mean?
You would do that by just higher investment from the start, right? You need a minimum of X amount. That's going to filter out.
Yeah, and
of
then
riffraff.
yeah, and filter out a lot of people, but also I want to work with people that are on the same page.
It's just easier.
It really
Just
is,
easier.
and not even and not even from. I almost want to even figure out like where, hey, we're just all in it together, and there's like no like, maybe we do even like a smaller cut at the end, just because, obviously I need to pay myself back. Or maybe even a smaller cut and like a little bit of cash flow, so that we can pay people to actually like run the business aspect of things. But it's more about like bringing in the right people to just scale it,
It's
and
way
just
easier.
and not even trying to get the money. It's, hey, let's all collectively get in on this deal. This is a great deal, and it's not like I don't even have to produce like a fucking pitch deck. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just, all these people we're all on the same page. We all understand real estate. That's it.